Good morning, good people. Are we live? I'm not sure. Maybe we are, maybe we're not. Can't be really sure. Yeah, I think we're live. So, if you're like me, then you're a bit dizzy in the morning. And that means we gotta warm up. And what better way to do that than with a guitar and a drum machine. So, yeah, without further ado, just gonna get playing and we'll see where we can take this. Good morning, Dead Man's Wife on YouTube. Hey there, G1. We got a question already. That's awesome. So I'll be practicing in short sets, and then if there's any questions, I'll be able to answer them, and we can just get talking. Not warm enough for that. Too fast. Yeah, John from Facebook, what's up? Metallica freak, got 3. Ooh, interesting stuff. Thanks so much, man. I'll just finish the set and then we can get speaking. Okay, so probably pushing it a little bit for a warm-up. I'm still working on being able to practice the way I would normally do with you guys. So what happens is because there's an audience, I take less risks. So my practicing is not as useful to me, but I still think it's worth it because I'm kind of practicing, if that makes sense. I'm practicing to practice with an audience. Because when you practice, you want to expose yourself and fix stuff. In my case, it's that, but it's also a matter of stumbling upon new ideas. And I only do that if I'm not afraid of making mistakes. And when I have an audience, I'm afraid of making mistakes. So I'm working on that. So what I'm trying to say is I want to be bad, but I can't. I'm just playing the stuff I'm comfortable with. Okay. Now that I've said that, we have a couple of questions there. Simple sweep picking techniques and how to use tremolo like a pro. Okay, so tremolo, just a quick tip. For me, the trick to tremolo is really hammer-ons from nowhere. So I don't want to be forced to use my pick when I use the tremolo. Instead, I want to be able to produce a note with the left hand, so I can use my right hand to control the tremolo. So typically I'll do like this. I'll pre-bend or pre-push the whammy. So if that makes sense, I'm just doing this. But prior to that, I'm doing this. Okay? So I'm hammering on a fret. And then I release the bar. So one more time. Push the bar down, hammer on for nowhere, and then back up. But if you've never done the hammer on for nowhere, then you should probably practice just like this first. See if you can produce any notes with just the left hand. Once you're able to do that, it's easy to add the... Okay, so we also had a question about simple sweep picking. So I would recommend this simple, like a major arpeggio, but we're not going to start it from the root. So if we have C major, starting on the 13th fret, B string, the C major arpeggio looks like this. 13 and then 12 and then 15. So you could just practice this, but it's not really a sweeping pattern. So in order to make it a sweep picking pattern, we're going to be playing the 5th as in the bass, or like the first note. So that would be like, I don't know, the second inversion or something. I'm bad at that stuff. So 12, 13, 12, 15. That's going to be your sweep. So try. So what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. So it's a 6-note pattern. That's great. So you're going to try to sweep as much as possible here. So down, 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 up, pull off, and then down, down. Okay? Now I'm not very good at sweeping that stuff. I've stopped sweeping, and I do mostly like left hand, and then I just accent with a sweep. So that's only sweeping on the way down. But when starting out, it's a good idea to try to be in control and sweep all of it. Let's practice that. You still want to have your hand here to control noise, but I don't need to pick anything. C major. I can't speak and play. C major. D major. B major. C. D. B. And then you can start mixing them. So on the way down, you play one arpeggio and then you slide into the next. And on the way up, or however you want to see it, you play into the next arpeggio. So that's true, Mr. Saddlewood. Guitar faces make up for bad playing. Yep, that's a guillotine. So whenever my student hasn't done a homework, that's how we solve it. And usually they do their homework just by seeing the guillotine. It's actually a rowing machine, or this is a rowing machine. So I can put it down and do some rowing. need to practice. So down going or descending pull-offs. So just this. I mean, pull-offs are always descending, I guess. So just descending legato. Pull-offs. That's what I was trying to say. I need to practice pull-offs. There's also one that I found a little bit tricky, though it shouldn't be, just a legato exercise with open strings. So I've been doing this exercise for a million years. But doing it with open strings, apparently I've never practiced that because it was difficult. Okay, I quickly need to go take a piss, but you guys, I'll keep the metronome here and then I'll check some Instagram comments and see if you guys are saying anything. Okay, let's see if Instagram is saying anything. How to improve speed peaking? Good question by Sharvin Prial. Can you play Cooper Temple Claws? Never heard of that. That metronome sounds like Goodbye Horses. What is that? Goodbye Horses. Speed peaking. So I'm gonna show you how I would warm up with the speed picking, and a hint is that I'm not practicing fast. I'm practicing slowly and with really small, try to make small machine-like movements. Let's see. So let's start with something that's more like a warm-up. Check my right hand. Right now I'm practicing thumb joint movements, but I could also be practicing the wrist like this. forearm because it's not a great technique to rely on that, but for most fast runs you still need to add a little bit of forearm push. So you can do this. I'm trying to have a completely stiff wrist and not move the thumb joint, only move the forearm. It's harder. And the movement is bigger. Of course, the magic happens when you've practiced all of those and you put it together. Now, I would spend much more time on that when warming up, but still, when I would practice the end kind of result, it would be something like this, maybe. So that's how my routine would look, but I would spend much more time on each segment. And if I played maybe 5 or 10 minutes on each thing, then I would start getting pretty warmed up, but it would still be mostly the right hand. So, well, a little bit left hand as well, but what I was trying to say, I would probably alternate between doing that and something that's more focused on the left hand. Vincius, great comment, man. Managed to see that a pro also needs to practice and makes mistakes during his practice session, just like me. Yeah. If you don't do mistakes, you're not really pushing yourself. However, you should be careful with having like a consistent mistake every time you play something. That's dangerous. So if you practice legato and there's always a place where you mess up, then you got to focus on that to make sure you don't mess up. So that's a different thing. But in terms of like trying new stuff, if you're never making any mistakes, then that's a sure sign that you're not experimenting. And to me, that's a major issue because I've been playing for a long time. And if I just play the stuff I've been doing, I'm just gonna be a one-trick pony and know a few things very well. So I constantly need to expose myself to new things that make me do mistakes. So thanks a lot for the great comment there, Vincius, on YouTube. Okay, but I really need to practice now. Messed up. I'm pretty off timing wise here. I don't know if you can hear that. That's because it's I'm doing like a string traverse in a direction going downwards. That's a little bit difficult for me. So I'm focusing on that and I'm playing with bad timing. So let's try it a little bit more, and if it doesn't work, I'll have to change the tempo, I think. Better. This is awesome because I get vibrato practice. This is something a lot of people skip. It's a bit like leg day on the gym, but it's super important. Hey there, mobster. So you can see that I'm combining both picking and vibrato here. To me, this is a very smart move because a lot of people just practice constant alternate picking and then they wonder why it takes them, a split second before their alternate picking is tight. So what you have to do is practice starting and ending runs, so just short bursts, because that's how you're going to use alternate picking. When doing it in real life. So that's what I'm practicing here. I'm doing short bursts of alternate picking, plus I'm practicing a target note and making it sound good and adding vibrato. So it's basically all the most important things, in a way. So let's do some more. Ramen Addict, what's up? Sensitive shred, I like it, thanks man. Okay. Let's do a little bit more legato and maybe we'll try something new after that. So I'm trying string skipping with legato now, open strings. That was tricky for me apparently. Let's try it again. It's okay, but it's very noisy. That's because the muting part is harder, I think. Well, it can be harder with string skipping. Just keep failing. No precision at all. It's bad. Let's do a little stretch. when I was doing that and looking unhappy, that's when I had some noise going. And then the refused string switches were relatively noise free. So let's try it again. Ow. Still messing up. Good thing with this is it's an awesome technique for adding the cascading harmonics. So of course that stuff only sounds good when played up to tempo, so that's why I'm practicing it slowly, and then you know, that's gonna open up some possibilities to play those fancy licks if that's what I want to do. Practice comes first. Check my right hand. I'm muting all the other strings, especially the adjacent strings. I'm muting them. And that's why when I do string traverse, I have to follow the right hand, and that's when I messed up. Still a little bit noisy in the switch. I think that's because there's an open string. Hey there, Swampers. Thanks, man. And yes, Mr. Sandwood, I agree. Guitar faces make everything 10% better. It's nice to rest the left hand. Messed up? Ah. That was hard. Trying to do. That's very hard. Yeah, it's almost impossible if you want to get there in time with the downstroke. I'm gonna have to think about the up and downstroke. Anyhow, that's good practice. Let's try some more. Crazy. Cool. So we got a question by Monitoring on YouTube is asking about an injury. So if I remember correctly, you had an injury 6 to 7 years ago. I'm currently suffering from tendinitis, tennis elbow, and can't play guitar. What did you research to recover during that time? Good question. So I had an injury like 25 years or 20 years ago, I think. Yeah. And the thing that did it was stopped playing, because I kept playing for a while and only got worse. So you have to completely stop playing, but you can still continue practicing just the right hand. That's what I did, but I stopped playing the left hand, because that's usually, I think a lot of people get issues there if you're working on legato stuff. And then the only way I was able to solve it was to go to a chiropractor. So he basically fixed it for me. And then I understood that up to that point, I had been kind of serious about physical exercise. But for some reason, there was like a few weeks where I practiced intensely, but I didn't do any physical exercise. And that kind of, I think that triggered it, because then I was able to consistently since then not get such injury just by keeping up the physical exercise. Sometimes I can still feel it, but I know that all I have to do is kind of change the physical exercise and guitar practice balance, so there's a bit more physical exercise and a little less guitar practicing, and then it can kind of shift back. But if you have the injury and you have the diagnosis, then I don't know if I had tendinitis, maybe that's what it was, but seeing a good chiropractor did it for me, so that's what I can recommend. And yeah, sorry man, I feel for you. It's horrible not being able to play the guitar, but you can practice right hand, and you can practice writing music and arranging stuff, getting better at music software. It might not be what you feel like doing, but that stuff is what's going to matter in the end, because most of us are just people who shred, but what you really want is to hear someone shred or play solo in a context that sounds awesome. For that purpose, you gotta practice arrangements and songwriting, backing track, and that kind of stuff. Solken, you're not interrupting, man. We're all speaking here. So we got lots of cool questions coming in now, both on Facebook. Can you show a lick for Tender Surrender? Sorry, man, don't know the track. Kindly tell the time signature and what you play. Oh, time signature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So this is 4/4, I guess. Although what I played was not really 4/4, because maybe I extended, so it felt uneven. But I don't often count, so I don't know what the time signature is. But I was doing some. I have no clue, and I don't care, because I've never counted. Maybe that's a bad thing, but it just turns me off when I play to start count. That reminds me of learning songs that I didn't want to learn just to play in some cover band, whatever. So you don't really feel the music; you're just there counting. I know it can be an important tool if you're like a session musician or something, and you quickly have to learn a lot of material. But that's not me. I would die from doing that. Or maybe I would learn a lot, but I would definitely be crap at it for a long time. So yeah, I'm horribly bad at counting. Sorry about that. So Solkan is asking about anything about modes. Modes. I always answer this, but it's what I believe, so I'm gonna have to tell you again. Most people, when they think that learning the mode is about figuring out some way you can remember these new shapes on the guitar. These are my modes classes. So people think that, well, if I can remember these new shapes, I will learn the modes. And then they kind of get stuck at what's the best method for memorizing the shapes. And there are various methods. The problem is that the end goal sucks. So even if you find a method that works for remembering the shapes, there are some simple ones out there, it's still not going to give you the modes. It's just going to be a finger pattern. So how do you learn the modes? Well, you isolate the notes that differentiate from the regular scales. So, you know, you have the E minor pentatonic box, which we all love. So if I were to play the Dorian mode, what's the biggest difference? Well, it's gonna be that major 6, you know? That's the sound of the Dorian mode. But I didn't play a Dorian shape, I just played my pentatonic shape. You know, and I could go on, you know, what's the sound of the Aeolian mode or the minor mode? Well, similarly, it's going to be the minor 6, not the major 6. And the second. So I added those 2 notes. Now compare that to the sound of Dorian. Oh, Abel, you remember my 11-minute shreds? That must have been from my YouTube channel. I had these longer jams. I think I have 1 hour of shredding somewhere on my YouTube channel. Just jamming for an hour. I don't know if you could hear the difference between the Dorian and the Aeolian mode, but that's where it has to start. You have to, I think, hear the difference. So the easiest way, if you want to learn any mode, is just to take your pentatonic box, like on E minor, and add the 14th fret on the B string. And if that sounds like something you would want to play, then you've won the battle. Now you can start remembering those longer shapes if you want to. But the hardest part is just making sense out of the color of the modes. So don't care about, you know, the shapes. I think I've seen so many people get caught up in remembering the shapes. But, you know, even if you manage to remember the shapes, you're not going to be sounding like Joe Satriani or like anybody who uses the modes. Because you need to do what I just showed you. Just get that one note to sound good. And then you've sort of conquered the Dorian mode. Then you can learn the shapes. Solkan, glad it helped. Staying home for 2 months and playing guitar 7-8. Yeah. If you play for 7-8 hours, what kind of physical activity are you doing running? So the physical activity that matters for guitar is the upper body. The back, yes, as you get older, the back. But when I was younger, around 20, just keeping my arms up to shape, that was super important. Just biceps and, you know, whatever you can think of, shoulders. These days, yeah, I don't do a lot of running, but I do a lot of walking on a daily basis. I walk for 1 or 2 hours per day. I guess that's going to be the thing that keeps, you know, my overall shape up. But I also do targeted weightlifting and even, you know, those kind of things, just to have a good blood circulation in my arm. That's super important. Yeah, Roop, exactly. Every mode has a distinct characteristic note, or maybe 2, 1 or 2, for sure. And when we say it has a distinct characteristic note, it's always going to be in comparison to major or minor, because those are what we're used to hearing. If you grew up in some non-Western part of the world, then probably your reference is going to be some scale that is weird to us Westerners. But we grew up hearing the major scale and the minor scale. So when we think of something exotic, it's going to be something that's different from those scales. But it's all just a matter of reference. But that's why it's so good when explaining the modes to actually start with a concrete example, a specific example of a reference scale, and nothing beats the pentatonic scale. Okay. You could hear the mess up. Okay, I'm gonna plug the power into my phone now. Do let me know if this gives you a hum or some weird sound. Hopefully it won't. Okay, so I transitioned into practice something completely different now, which is more kind of licks based and trying to actually a good way to practice this is just to force yourself to have some silence and pause in between, because a lot of times I find that starting and ending a lick cleanly and on time is hard, you know. It's much harder to just keep on playing. So if nobody stops me, I have the problem of just playing. So when practicing, I try to think of, you know, having these breaks. So silence, 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 and I messed up. Yeah, so that's something I think is a major problem in my playing. Whenever I jam, I just, you know, play too many notes and too many phrases instead of having pauses and thinking about repeating themes. So if I can't even do that when practicing, I'm screwed. Okay. Cool question by monitoring there. I remember those little lick videos with hippie parodies from GuitarTube. Yeah, I had a few comedy videos that made a lot of, made a strong impression, I think. What do you think of the current YouTube guitar community? Oof, it's so freaking big, it's hard to generalize. And you're asking specifically about YouTube, but then we have, you know, Instagram and that stuff. So I think it's good. I think YouTube provides amazing value for money, but I guess you're paying with your soul. But, you know, so much good content, so much good instructional content, so much good gear reviews. I do think the instructional content on YouTube is so-so because basically the format has pushed every instructor to, you know, have these sensational thumbnails. Whoa, the one thing that changed for my, you know, and then it takes like 15 minutes for them to show you one pattern, you know. And, you know, I've been struggling with, you know, should I do that? Because that seems to be one of the few ways you can cut through if I want to make like long form instructional videos. And maybe I will, but as for now, if I can avoid the sensational stuff, I prefer it. I do hope that we will see a shift towards people appreciating these kind of natural and completely unedited videos, because, you know, it's a live stream through my phone. I can't do anything about fixing anything. It's just the way it is. And I think maybe that's gonna have a comeback. I hope so, because that's the content I prefer doing. I don't like going back and fixing stuff in my playing. sure, you can bump the end result a little bit, but it's just that the process takes a long time, and I want to spend that time, playing guitar and doing music stuff. So that's, yeah. But these long form instructional videos are often very edited and scripted, and they're good stuff, but I just don't like their sensational character, because you have to start with the sensation in the thumbnail, and then you know that, well, okay, if I just have the sensation in the thumbnail, people are going to get disappointed. So then they have to spend 15 minutes kind of justifying why they had this sensational topic, when all they wanted to do was show you a pattern. But YouTube won't, allow people to just show you a cool pattern unless it's sensational. So that's where we are now. And I guess it maybe doesn't have anything to do with YouTube. It has more to do with like the guitar itself, which is, I think, it's not dying, but it has been going downwards because there's not that much interesting to show, I guess. And maybe that's more the problem than YouTube. And then we have to try to sensationalize the content. But most people are just playing the same old licks anyways. I don't know, it's tricky. But in general, I think YouTube does provide amazing value with content, and for guitar as well. But I don't really like the sensational instructional topics. But that's just me. So there's some Slavic comments, but I'm using an app to multi-stream on different platforms, so I can't translate. So I have no idea what you're saying. If you translate before pasting it, and you can translate what you're saying to English and paste it here, and I will understand. How do you sing major? I don't know. I'm a crappy singer. Okay, let's practice some more. Let's see if we can do more of the silence thing. That's interesting. The arpeggio, which I thought I would nail, I couldn't make it fit in rhythmically. Much better. That kind of stuff is hard to fit in rhythmically, so let me work a little bit on that. Okay, I wasn't warmed up for that. Hey, that's okay if your English is bad. You can just type in your native language and translate on Google, and then you paste what you're trying to say here. So this is always tricky, having a great vibrato on the high E and B string, because you can't use the guitar neck as leverage point. On the G string it's easy, but on the B string you have to do it upwards. Well, let's practice that. It sounds really bad. Yes, this is all improvised. I try to improvise my kind of exercise and practicing on the spot. Because otherwise I get bored by my playing. Oh, wrong note. I'm still trying to get a good vibrato here. This doesn't sound that good to my ears, you know. It's better. It's better. I want it deep, you know. This sounds good. Like on the G string, that's you know, the kind of feel I want to go for. But it's hard to do on the E and the B string. Very hard. Normally, I for this kind of stuff, I play my Strat, my red Strat, which is down tuned to E flat, and it uses 08 strings. This has E standard, and it has 09 to 46, so it's a different string gauge. I'm a little bit tempted to change, but yeah, let's keep going a little bit more. Better, but the timing is not that good, but it's at least it's a little bit deeper. So I'm speaking about the timing of the vibrato curve. That also matters. Sounds like crap. So the vibrato isn't there at all. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I'm gonna try cutting my nails, see if that solves it. Probably not. Sometimes it just makes it worse. And very soon I'll be ready. Okay, let's try some more if I can nail this. Just let me get some more water, because this stuff is energy consuming. Okay, let's freaking nail that vibrato now. that's what I'm going for. Not good. Better. Still kind of crappy. Let's try that. Now, of course, if you're new to vibrato, you would never do it this way. You would just try to get the oscillations down. But since I've been doing this for decades, I was hoping it would work out. Let's try some more. See how easy it is on the G string? This is how it's supposed to sound. That's the sound. But because I'm doing it on the B and the G string and I can't use the downward motion, it gets much harder. Okay, I gotta take a break from the bending because it's really exhausting on the hand. If I keep going, I might not be able to play the other stuff. So at least me in my mid-40s, I have to be a bit careful with how I structure my practicing. And it's the same thing if I practice some super stretchy stuff. I can only practice that for a minute or so before I start getting tired. Bonjour, ça va? Ça va très bien, merci. Comment vas-tu, mec? Gotta practice my French. Avis, you are the best. Thanks so much, Avis from Instagram. You are the best for saying that, man. Okay, we gotta find some other practicing now. Let's do some less aggressive because I gotta rest my bending. Maybe just something like... So here's a little trick. Whenever I want to be sliding, it's a good idea to first of all clean your strings a little bit if you haven't already done that. Some people do it at the end of every practice session, but I think I'm too lazy and unorganized to do that. That's what I should be doing. But since I don't, 13-year focus on Instagram. Hi there, how you doing? Since I don't do that, what I do instead is have this kind of gliding stuff. And this is gonna make it much easier to slide. And it's super important when doing the glissando vibrato, which I was attempting to do there. Oh, does WD-40, does that work? Does it work? Are you kidding me? I have it here. Are you sure that it works? Okay, I might try that then. But but this really helps for the glissando. Maybe that's what it is then. Maybe this is just some WD-40 in a different package. Slow down. Exactly. With a bit of marketing, you can sell anything as anything. Ouch. Thank you, Jules. So I'm just using the E minor scale. Yeah, feel free to ask me questions. So I'm using the E minor scale and some glissando. This is very hard to fit in rhythmically. I'll see if I can do it. sometimes you gotta practice fixing mistakes on the fly. Valid. So yes, this is a guillotine, and basically when my guitar students come here and they haven't done their homework, they know what to expect. Fortunately, I haven't had to use it many times. No, it's just my rowing machine. I don't want you to send the police here. So how do you do a half guitar face? What is that? It's like on one side, or what? Fred from YouTube, what's up? So you have some snow in Indiana, or lots of it, I'm guessing. We have heaps of it here in Stockholm, more than usual this winter. So I've been breaking my back in a way I haven't done before, just shoveling snow. I'm trying to start down here and go all the way up here, and then the opposite. Hard. Ow. Yeah, Valod, I would say this is definitely Greg Howe inspired with the tapping and with the flat finger stuff. That's very Greg Howe-ish. Cool, Daryl. So I have a fellow practicer here. That's awesome, man. So you've been practicing for hours. Awesome. So how did it work out? Andy Summers, that's like the Police. Sorry, I don't know any tracks. I think I'm gonna have to slow down a little bit for this. This is too hard. So I'm in Stockholm, Sweden here. Our climates are similar, but our locations are very different. Cool, and we got goods from India as well, Nagaland. Tutusha, what's up? Let's try some more, going all the way from here, up to here, and then back. So that was a bit more fusion-esque. I tried to weave in some diminished and dominant 7 arpeggios there. Let's see if we can do that. Thank you, Tucker, for digging my other videos. It's too difficult. I was going a bit more crazy there, throwing in some outside stuff, but then I'm struggling finding my way back. So it's a good thing to practice. But if you were here in the beginning of the session, this is exactly what I was referring to when saying that I need to practice in front of an audience. So this is the kind of stuff I wanted to get to, where I'm not afraid of doing mistakes, because that's how my normal practice sessions look like. And I think it's the only way to make progress if you're pushing yourself. But when you have an audience, like I do right now with you guys, it's easy to just try to go safe. And I want to avoid that. So let's try some more. I did it almost all the way. Turns out that throwing in the outside stuff was more difficult down here, probably because I haven't practiced it in this region. I usually do it up here, so let's try that. Okay, let's do the other way around. See you, Valos, or Valord. Thank you so much for checking out my stuff. Almost. It's annoying. I'm almost always tripping the last few notes of the whole thing. You know, manage almost to go from down here to up here. That's good stuff though. Good practice. Yes, this is a nice Wolfgang EVH standard. Hey there, Jan on Instagram. I wish I could stay, watch and learn, but the wage cage calls me. Okay, go for it, man. We'll meet some other time. Do I economy peak? Yeah, occasionally I do, but I prefer hybrid peak. So I do some economy peak. That's economy, right? I don't really like the sound of it though. I just occasionally use it. I prefer in that case to like play two pick notes and one legato, so I don't have to economy pick. So 1, 2, hammer on, 1, 2, hammer on, 1, 2, hammer on. I missed. 1, 2, hammer on, 1, 2, hammer on, like that. I think that sounds better. Okay, let's try some more. Almost again. Okay, so let's do the opposite. I'm just gonna practice the top part now. Better, but still not. Ah! Just failed. Ow. Pure coincidence. Cool, Sydney on Instagram, huge fan from Botswana. That's awesome, man. Metallica. That's not what I do. I practice improvisation. I don't play Metallica. Sorry, man. Thank you, Daryl, for digging my shows. Okay. Let's try one now from the way down here. That sucked. Ah, totally messed up. That was cool. So I gotta try that idea. That's pretty cool. But that's what I was saying, you know. You can't be afraid of making mistakes, because then you won't find the cool stuff. Now I'm gonna try to repeat that. This is a Wolfgang EVH standard D bis was guitarist. So let's try one more time. So I'm doing some string skips in the middle of the run, and that sticks out. It sounds kind of cool, but it's hard. One more time, but only half the distance now. Let's try this. That's for you, DB Was. Pushing it a little bit there, but this is the fun stuff when you're warmed up and you can practice the whole run and try to change things within it. Man, I like how you look like a normal college professor, but then you pick up a guitar and then blow us away. I guess it's the glasses. I don't want to look like a freaking college professor. Do I still look like a normal college professor? Yeah. But I guess I'm not dressing up for the practice sessions either. So let's do some more. But thanks a lot for digging my stuff, Oscar. Shred at 240 BPM. I don't think I can do that, but maybe we can find some of my backing tracks here. There's a playlist with my backing track. It says Chris backing tracks. C minor. So this is a good opportunity to try to play those runs in a context. Of course, now we're in C minor, and I've been practicing in E minor all the time. Can you guys hear the backing track? Are levels okay? Mycon, what's up? Good Porto. I'm from Brazil, so I can't speak Portuguese. McGregor, thanks, man. Cool. So we have a question whether I'm using a plugin. No, I'm not using a plugin. You can see what I'm using here. I'm using this amp, and I'm not using any pedals before the amp now, only a noise gate and a tuner. So you're only hearing the Mesa Boogie Mark V amp now. And then there's a little bit of reverb delay and EQ, but in the loop. So nothing before the amp, it's just the amp that's shaping the sound. Unison bending, you mean this kind of thing? So this kind of thing is just 12 on the high E string and then 15 on the B string. And then you're basically phrasing it differently. So the classic way is just you hit both notes and then gradually bend up. And there you have the unison note. But the nice place is basically in between. So, and you can do a pre-bend. So you start with the notes bent. And you get, play them with both my fingers there. So bend and then play the notes. And you get that weird sound. I don't know if that's what you were hearing. So unison bending works on a steel string acoustic, but it's not the effect is not as obvious, but it works. On a nylon string classical guitar, it doesn't really work. Wanna sit from Instagram, what's up? My pull-offs need a little bit of work as well, and if you scroll back or rewind later on, you're gonna find I practiced this for a warm-up. So hammer-ons are much better than my pull-offs. Veronis, how you doing, man? On Instagram. You're a fan, thank you, man. I messed up a lot. Chris, time to make the donuts for sure. Chris Jenkins. Donuts. Thank you so much, Dion, on Instagram. So Veronis is asking, how do you come up with the arrangement? How do you fix an arrangement on the guitar? So it's a big topic, but one little quick tip would be to just play along your favorite songs. And instead of butchering the whole thing, which is what I'm doing now, try to only play at a few, have a long silence and try to just play a short lick or a short chord or something small and see how you can complement the arrangement so it sounds better and so it doesn't sound like you're just ruining the track, again, which is what I'm doing now. So that's one way you can practice kind of finding your pocket, finding the pocket to play, where there's a little bit of space for you in the arrangement. That would be my tip. This is a faster track. Sure, there's a bit of Dorian in here. I generally don't think in terms of modes, I just play outside, you know. But I guess it's all modal in the sense that I'm not following the chord progression. I mean, it's just a riff. So, but I like throwing in some outside stuff like diminished and dominant. Like this. This was an exhausting track, man. So this is these are my backings, and you're gonna find them on my YouTube playlist that says Chris backing track. This was a thrashed metal backing in 150 BPM. Shouldn't have played it because now I'm tired. It is exhausted. So cool. It's been an awesome session. This is kind of what I've been wanting to do for a long time now, and I think I finally did it somewhat, at least. I don't know if you guys are saying, but this was cool because I got to show you my whole warm-up process. We got to practice together, and we got to not only practice, but I analyzed a lot of the stuff I did. So hopefully some of that can be useful to you guys. And we had a lot of questions in between every practice set. And then we ended the whole thing with some real-life shredding. I mean, way too many notes, but still a real-life application of the stuff we practiced. That was cool. Jalvesh. What's up, my man, on Instagram. So thanks so much for tuning in. You guys are the best. I love you with all my heart, and I hope I'll see you very soon again here on in the live stream. See ya. Cheers.